What is good, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're over there, make sure you leave a like. In today's video, we'll be looking at the top 5 goriest scream kills. Obviously, this top 5 list is based off of my opinion, of course. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with the list or if you would put something here or in a different place. Just let me know your opinions down in the comments. But without further ado, and this is a top 5 goriest kills. This is not ranking the kills in general. It's just talking about the gore of the kill, like how disgusting and disturbing the actual kill was. Now, I did originally start this video out as a top 10, but it was way too long. It was a whole 30-minute video, so I obviously had to cut it down to a top 5, which did make it a little bit harder for me to bracket these as top 5. There was some other really good kills on this list, but nonetheless, I did get it knocked down to a top 5. Without further ado, grab your popcorn, let's get into it. Number 5 on the list will be the cop from Scream 2. I really don't even know what to say about this one. This cop, clearly, you can see from the jump, he jumps onto the hood of the car. Alright, so that's automatically red flag right there. And then before we even get to that, keep in mind that there was 2 detectives supposed to be guarding Sydney. And both these detectives completely failed at what they were supposed to do in their job in general. Both of them suck. Like, how did both of these guys manage to get done the way they did by one person in a fucking Halloween suit? Come on now, bro. It's supposed to be a regular human being in a suit. And the way that these cops get done, it's just, it don't even make sense to me at all. So it kind of deserved what ends up happening to him in the first place, because, like, you had so many chances, just like this one. So obviously he gets hit, thrown up onto the hood of the car. Ghostface is driving around trying to knock him off the hood of the car. Now, at this point, again, he has a whole gun in his hand. He can easily shoot this man in his face. Like, it is not that hard. He's already on the windshield. You got pretty good line of sight. The worst thing that you got to deal with right now is the fact that the car is swerving back and forth. So it will be a little bit harder to get a shot, or you might end up hitting one of the people in the backseat, aka Sydney and her friend. At the same time, fuck them. Like, at this point, it's about your life. You was on top of the hood of the car. At this point, your life is in jeopardy. I don't think you should be worrying about theirs. And he still failed to shoot him or do anything about it. So after being drove around, slamming into multiple different targets, ultimately he ends up getting ran into a whole construction site, which the site ended up having a whole entire big ass steel bar fill his whole entire head. So it went straight through it, as you can see. Now, this definitely reminds me of a Final Destination type of scene. Seen multiple times, whether it was a log going through a car or a tire going into a crowd. Like, it definitely gives me Final Destination vibes in this scene. Nonetheless, it was a super gory scene, especially afterwards when you can actually see the bar still in his head. And he's over there still, like, gurgitating on his blood and hemorrhaging and pretty much just dying off slowly, which is just so fucked up. Again, seeing him impale his head onto it, like, definitely crazy. It always unsettled me when I was a kid, when I used to watch Scream 2, because if you, like, think real life about it, like something like this actually happening to your head, it just kind of makes you cringe a little bit. Although nothing like this does affect me. Obviously, I like it because this is us as slasher fans. This is what we like. We like seeing this type of gore, the very creative, different kills. But just in general, it kind of makes you cringe, like, if you think about it happening to you. Nonetheless, definitely a great kill. Definitely deserves the top 5 spot. We're gonna go ahead and get into the next one. Number 4 on this list definitely might be very controversial with y'all in the comments. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it down in the comments. And technically, isn't really canon because this is from season 3 of the Scream TV series. However, the only reason I am including and say it will be canon, or I'll even allow this, in season 3 of the TV series, they did bring back actual Ghostface. So that is the only reason I'm actually adding this one and even allowing it. Nonetheless, the kill I'm talking about is Amir's death scene. Now, this kill is definitely just brutal. There are so many reasons as to why it is so brutal. Obviously, number 1, he thinks he gets away. Like, that could be the worst possible thing, is to think you actually got away from something the whole time you didn't. Like, he in real life got in the elevator thinking that he got away from Ghostface. Like, he thought he was going to finally leave. He thought he was going to be cool and slick and make it out alive. No. Gets into the elevator, but then automatically gets stabbed through the lower stomach by what looks to be a long bow saw. I don't know what a bow saw is. It's pretty much a gigantic saw used pretty much to chop anything. Construction people mainly use it, but it is an extremely long saw. Like, I can't even, it's pretty much like a chainsaw, but in saw form. So he has it stabbed through his stomach. Then not only is it stabbed through his stomach, it is then twisted, because when it went in, as you can see, it went in at an angle. It then was twisted straight, which is just, I can't even imagine how he felt. And I've had 2 stomach surgeries, and I probably never felt anything even close to what he's experiencing in this moment. So the blade is then twisted into a straight position. After this happens, the elevator decides to actually finally go up. And every time I see this, it makes me cringe, bro. Like, the blade slowly starts cutting from the area that it went in all the way down his body, pretty much splitting his body straight in half. Like, I can't even fathom what that even feels like. Like, that is just fully crazy. Like, it was a crazy kill the way it was executed. This man literally just got split in half. And what makes this gory kill even worse is the person it was done by. Spoiler alert if you have not watched it, but the ghost face that did end up killing Amir is Beth, which is the girl that pretty much from the start of the entire season was trying to get inside this man's pants, like trying to get him to lose his virginity, because at the time he was a virgin. And she pretty much went by the classic horror movie rules that if you're a virgin you can't die. So what she did was pretty much set him up to take his virginity to then kill him. Like if you really think about it in your head, this is so messed up in so many ways. And not only is that messed up, but when he is dying, taking his last breaths as his body slowly bleeds out, with the hole being ripped down his stomach through his whole body, he pulls the mask off to reveal to himself it was indeed the person he probably low-key was falling in love with that just had killed him like that. Like, that just blows my mind, and it's so messed up in so many different ways. Only a super gory kill, but a very disrespectful one as well. Now we get to number 3 on the list. Now number 3, bro, this kill is what did it for me. I've been waiting to see something like this in the Scream franchise, and I feel like this is what escalated the gore in the franchise for me. Yes, there was 2 other very gory kills that I'm gonna get to, but as far as like up until now, we have not really seen that super gory, like you would see in like Halloween or Friday the 13th, just blood and guts everywhere and all that type of mess, until this kill. The kill I am talking about is in one of my least favorite Scream movies. It is Scream 4, and it is Olivia's death scene. Now, this death is crazy, one, because Olivia was pretty much caught completely off guard by this kill. She was not expecting anything to happen to her or anything like that. And of course, Ghostface jumps out the closet. After stabbing her in the shoulder, he then proceeds to try to stab her again. But then she does something that is actually something that would happen in real life, try to defend herself, and then get hit with a defensive wound through the hand. Then after that, Ghostface proceeds to beat her up, throw her around the room, throw her into, I think, a mirror and a shelf, then throw her on the bed and start just going crazy, stabbing her multiple times in the stomach so bad to where you actually see in the movie the blood splattering everywhere. And I love the accuracy, because this is something that would happen in real life if somebody's getting stabbed this bad. Like, you can see all the blood splatter all over the place. As if this was not disrespectful enough, Ghostface then proceeds to pick her up and throw her through the window. So then after throwing the girl through the window, he then takes her and throws her onto the bed and just leaves her there with her guts and everything else hanging out. And you can actually see this in the movie as Sydney actually walks into the room. The room is just top to bottom covered in blood everywhere, all over the nightstand, all over the bed, all over the walls, like top to bottom. There is not one area where there's no blood. You can even see poor Olivia's guts and just intestines and everything just hanging out of her body. This kill definitely is one of my favorite kills, for the simple fact that I feel like it turned Ghostface into something of an actual threat as compared to something as a joke. I feel like a lot of people took Ghostface in the horror community as a joke, for the simple fact that at the end of the day, it is a person inside of a suit. One, that it does get more realism to it, for the simple fact that it's something that can happen in real life. But at the same time, as far as like Ghostface being serious, a lot of times Ghostface is falling over shit. He's tripping. He's getting bikes thrown at him, lamps thrown at him. Like, it's hard to really take it serious. But when you see a scene like this really makes you take Ghostface serious as a horror figure in the horror community. Nonetheless, definitely a super gory kill, and it's definitely the reason that's sitting at number 3 on my list. Now, number 2 on the list will have to be Steve's death scene. Now, this is just my theory, and I can't, go off on a whim on it, but my theory would be to say that in reality, Billy Loomis and Stu Macher did not kidnap him with a Ghostface suit on. Like, I feel like that would just be doing way too much. Meaning, when they kidnapped Steve, he knew who was kidnapping him, aka so he already knew everything that was going down. So I'm gonna go on a whim and say that he definitely already knew Billy and Stu was the one kidnapping him. Steve's kill itself, it is definitely a messed up one, as he is sliced across the stomach. And this is going to be the uncut version, the version that was originally supposed to be in the movie, because this would have been Wes Craven's actual vision for the movie if he was allowed to do it. But this scene, as you can see, Steve's intestines literally roll onto his legs, like from his stomach. This is definitely way more disturbing than the version that was allowed in the movie. It's also definitely cool to see for the simple fact that this was Wes Craven's actual vision for this. He wanted this to be taken seriously. I feel like kills like this make the killer more imposing for the simple fact that you're seeing what the killer is capable of actually doing. So it's definitely a different take on it, comparing it to something like seeing a killing happen off screen where it's showing the killer stabbing a person, but you're not seeing the actual kill taking place. This definitely is a very gory kill, definitely a very disturbing kill also. But it's also cool to know that this was the creative way that Wes wanted to go with the story. Now, without further ado, we do have the final number one goriest kill on the list. And sitting at number one, nonetheless, is Casey Becker's kill scene. Casey's kill is so messed up in so many ways for the simple fact that, okay, she already knows she's being watched from the outside. She's already been taunted on the phone. She's already watched her boyfriend die in front of her. So after all that and finally deciding to actually try to do something about it and running away, she not only gets caught, but then she gets stabbed in the upper area of her chest, then proceeds to fall on the ground and get choked hard enough to crush her larynx. Some of y'all that don't know, that is your voice box, aka what makes you able to get words out your mouth or be able to make any type of sound. After her throat is crushed hard enough to where she can't even speak, she then sees her parents and tries to make a run for it. And this is also so messed up. She low-key could have had the chance to live. Like, this was her opportunity to live. I will never understand why she did not throw the fucking phone on the porch. Like, and every time I watch this scene, it pisses me off. If it was me, I would have been and launched that brick-ass phone at somebody's fucking head so hard to get their attention. Like, I understand the context of the movie. Of course, it's not going to happen like that. But if it was me, I would have been launched that motherfucker. Anyway, she tries to scream out for her mom. And clearly her larynx, like I said, is crushed. So she can't say nothing. So they just walk right in like she doesn't even exist. After this happens, she just pretty much collapses, takes Ghostface's mask off, revealing who is about to kill her. So this whole scene is just messed up. All right, so one, she seen her boyfriend die. Two, she tried to make a run for it but got caught. Three, she got stabbed. Four, she gets choked out, crushing her voice box. Five, she fucked up the only attempt to be able to make it out of this alive. Six, she just revealed who was about to kill her, and not only did she do that, but she knows who's about to kill her. She knows the person that's about to do it. Now to add 7 to that list, she gets stabbed up. Like, Ghostface does not hold back to the point where he's actually grunting with how hard he's having to stab the knife into this girl's stomach. Like, this scene is so messed up. Pretty much after going to town on her stomach, just repeatedly stabbing her with this knife, he then drags her. Not only does he drag her, but she's still alive on the phone. Like, this is so fucked up, bro. Her mom has to listen to her daughter's last words as she is about to die. Like, there are so many things wrong with the beginning of this movie that is just, like, if you put it in a real life perspective, it is so fucked up. So again, she's being dragged across the field while her mom pretty much listens to her last words. Not only that, but then here goes to add another tally onto the list. Gets gutted again. After being gutted again, then gets tied up and hung by a tree. Like, this, like, you really think about it, there are so many things. It just shows you how twisted Billy Loomis and Stu Macher actually were. In the next scene, you see the parents walk outside, and in the uncut version, you can see this girl's intestines laying on the ground with heat still coming off of it. Obviously fresh. She was just gutted open, and of course, she's just hanging from the tree. Like, definitely a classic kill, and I feel like nothing will ever beat this kill. It even cements itself in the horror genre as its own kill. Like, everybody knows the Casey Becker kill. If you don't, you live under a rock. It makes no sense. But this kill is just a classic, and that's the reason it's at number one. Is One, it's just super gory. There's so many levels to it. There's so many disturbing levels to it. And again, it's just such a classic kill. It definitely deserves that spot at number 1. And without further ado, that will wrap up the list of my top 5 goriest Scream kills. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this list. Let me know if y'all would switch some around, or let me know about some different gory kills that you think should have been in the top 5 that didn't make it. Again, there was a lot that I wanted to add, whether it was Dewey's kill from Scream 5 that I still don't agree with, Les's kill from Scream 5, his kill from Scream 6 where his intestines literally is hanging out while he's being stabbed. Like, there are so many other kills I could have added again, but again, I had to chop the list down to a top 5 because the video was just way too long for y'all to watch. But again, let me know what y'all think about it down in the comments. Let me know which kill y'all like the most. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. Till then, I'm out. Stay tuned.